r/ask Reddit. Redditors with toddlers. What's the most recent illogical breakdown they've had? My son was basically upset I missed the tantrum he had started to throw for grandpa. He was doing his face in the carpet, kicking feet, over the top fake crying when I guess he realized he was missing something. So he came upstairs, grabbed my hand, huffed and puffed angrily while walking me directly next to grandpa, totally positioned me for the show, and got right back into meltdown mode, looking up every so often to make sure we were still watching it. I asked my dad what initially set him off though. He said he shut off his own show and didn't know what else to do. One of my toddlers is very upset about mortality. She keeps melting down saying I don't want to die. How will I talk? How will I eat? And then the screaming. But I guess it's pretty logical. Mortality sucks. My daughter said I was going to work at the post office with her when she grows up. I told her I'd be a teacher by then and couldn't work at the post office. I spent 45 minutes consoling her and now I'm obligated to work for the post office in 15 years. The enraged, sobbing wail from the back seat of my car. He's looking out my window. My youngest was mad because his brother was looking out of his window instead of the other one. Not a toddler, but my 6-year-old threw a fit tonight cause we got him a cheeseburger for dinner. He asked for a cheeseburger. With toddlers, you quickly learn how to say non-acknowledgements like oh, yeah, and wow. That's interesting, because a good chunk of what they say is nonsensical. Earlier today, I was driving to the store and from his car seat in the back, my toddler yelled at me, "I want the biv." He then proceeded to melt down about the biv. I attempted to figure out what in the world he was talking about, but had no luck. What is a biv? I don't know what you are talking about. Can you point at it? What is a biv? He paused for a moment, then admitted reluctantly, "I forgot the word." I still don't know what he was talking about. Elevators. My kid thinks people get on them to die. I have shown her that it's okay. Even ridden one up and down with her, while she screamed the entire time. I just don't get it. She yells at people not to get on the elevator, screeches and is terrified if someone she loves gets on one. My kid was screaming at his balloons for an hour because they wouldn't stop floating. Every morning with my 2-year-old. Do you want to go to the park? Yeah. Play dirt? Okay. Go to the door for shoes and jacket? No. Stay home? But don't you want to go to the park to play in the sandbox? Yeah. Okay, so we need to go get shoes and get in the car. No. Full meltdown follows. And repeat this exchange for another 5 minutes until he realizes that we can't both stay home and go to the park simultaneously. Then repeat again when leaving the park. I pretended to eat his sock. When I showed him it was behind my head, he complained that it was all gross and covered in food bits. Then threw it on the trash, went to his room and cried into his pillow. I wouldn't let her put crayons in my ear. Full on dropping to the ground, wailing and sobbing like I'd killed our cat in front of her. I would tell her we don't put stuff in our ears, which would make her sob louder. Thankfully she's a young toddler and easily distracted, so it only lasted a few minutes. She just started crying and said I broke her heart. After a few times of asking and calming her down, she told me it was because I ruined her birthday. Her birthday had been like 8 months before. I tried asking her how I ruined her birthday, but those were the only 2 sentences she would say. Toddler finds picture book of me and wife before kids having fun on vacation. Toddler melts down saying we went out for fun and didn't take him. Tell him it's because he wasn't born yet. He fires back, I exist, I'm right here. My niece is 1.5. She was walking while holding a small bowl of cereal. No milk, just dry cereal. A piece of cereal drops out of the bowl and hits the floor. She stops dead in her tracks, looks down at the single piece of cereal on the floor, and immediately drops the entire bowl of cereal. Today's. I made her the perfect peanut butter and jam sandwich. Every time she went to take a bite she would throw a fit. This went on for 4 very long bites and my husband had to help her through each bite. I cut the sandwich at a different angle than usual and she just didn't know how to eat the sandwich without Dad's help. A few nights ago, we went on a family walk jog. My husband was doing intervals so he would leave us for a few minutes at a time and come back around, staying within our sights the whole time. One of these times my 2-year-old broke down and cried. She ran straight to me for her to hold her. She was completely distraught. Dad has done this 3-4 times by this point, so I'm not sure why this particular interval was so upsetting to her. Less than a minute later she was talking herself down. I don't need to cry. And everything is alright. My 2-year-old son heard my wife crumble up a receipt in the car tonight and for the next hour lost his mind that we had a cookie we were holding out on him. No amount of explaining could fix the situation. My 2-year-old screamed bloody murder every time she finished the water I poured into her cup. She literally got mad because she drank all her water. Yesterday, our youngest son, 1.5 years old, had a meltdown because I wouldn't let him pour his apple juice on the cat. I saw him start to grabbed his cup. He just looked at me with a mixture of anger and sadness and cried bath for about 10 minutes. Our cat is amazing with children, but even she wouldn't appreciate an apple juice bath. Most recent are the key words here because this is most of my life. Most recent would be bedtime when he couldn't get his shirt off and it stuck over his face so he couldn't see and he got mad about that, and then he got mad at me for helping him fix it because he could do it himself and didn't need help. Favorite of today was when I told him to eat lunch or he'd get hungry on our walk and he said he'd just eat animals in the woods. He clarified that this would be chickens. You know, all those chickens that hang out in the woods. And then was hungry on the walk. My all-time fav was when he was arguing with his brother in the car, and his brother wasn't in the car. I gave my daughter some crackers in a plastic bowl the other day. When she was finished she lifted it up to throw it. I told her not to, and when she did I asked her to pick it up and she lost it for a good 20 minutes. This is new for her, she's never been one to have fits before. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more Reddit content.